Hi, thank you so much for joining me here today. Before we begin, I'd like to just take a moment to acknowledge the traditional custodians on the lands on which we both live, work and play. And I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present and all time, and acknowledge their continued connection to land, water and community. So my name is Georgie and I'm the Senior Peer Support Worker here at SANE Australia. And I am joined here by one of our incredible peer ambassadors, Shazi. And we're here to talk about DID systems' place within the LGBTQIA plus community. So welcome, Shazi. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us some more about your experiences?
Thank you, Georgie. Yes, that'd be great. I am a person that's diagnosed with DID, and we call all the members of our inner world a system. So I've been living with this since 2004 and basically done it on my own. And I have been a peer ambassador for quite a number of years now, and I absolutely love what I do and my connection with SANE. It's just, it lights me up.
Oh, that's fantastic. And, we really appreciate everything you do for us as well. So I just wanted to start with asking you a question. Do you feel like currently DID systems have a place within the LGBTQA plus community?
The short answer is no, Georgie. I was actually trying to understand like where I fit, but my system is made up of different individuals, and they all have different genders, different sexualities. And so I felt that it was not appropriate to be pointing to one particular area, then another, then another. So I didn't feel like my rainbow community held space for me. And yeah, it was an awkward space to be in, I suppose.
So how have you kind of navigated that so far?
Well, I've put some feelers out in the DID world online, and I mentioned this to a few people, and it actually got out there, reached thousands of people, and a single lady recalled seeing a flag, and I've got the flag behind me for systemfluid or systemgender. And basically, I was flabbergasted. 1 out of thousands of people knew there was a flag. So someone else popped up and said, oh, there's some lingo around that, some language and jargon around that. And I went, oh, well, that's a bit confronting, but and complicated. And so I left that for the smarter people than me, the better educated people than me to sort out. But I was really excited because I found a space that held me and all of my personalities. And that changed things for me. I felt I belonged.
And belonging is such an important feeling, I think, for all of us. So there can be a lot of stigma in the community when it comes to DID, and of course stigma as well surrounding gender and sexuality as a side. So how have you kind of navigated this stigma?
Well, that's been really tough because it's in layers. People with DID, there's self-stigma. Then there's stigma within our own DID communities on, that's not right, this is right, don't use that language, I prefer this language, you shouldn't tell people, a whole range of things. And then you get out in the community, and like even in the rainbow community, it can be really tough. It can be very difficult. Today I had a really bad experience where I was really excited to share my systemfluid flag, and I got verbally berated over how dare I was just maladaptive, and I really, and he actually got stuck into the non-belief around DID, let alone anything else. So it was really confronting to me and totally uncalled for. I accept him.
Yeah, that must have been incredibly difficult. And, is that something, an interaction like that, something that you've experienced quite a lot in your journey with DID?
Quite regularly.
Mm,
And it's really interesting because I get it from clinicians, I
mm,
get it from GPs, I get it, members of the community. I'll say, well, I have DID,
mm,
and they'll look at me and laugh at me.
mm,
Social media plays a big role, and also Hollywood movies and stuff. I mean, and book plots, like some of them have been really atrocious, like
mm,
absolutely atrocious. And there's
mm,
so many different DID systems. They're all set up differently with different people. I'm, for example, polyfragmented, which means I've just
mm.
got a large system.
Sure.
That's all. So yeah, it's a really confusing place to navigate.
Mm.
Great if you've got a peer worker that can walk you through that space.
Yeah. Yeah. I imagine that is quite a complicated space to navigate. I think, it's complicated. Gender and, sexuality is complicated within itself before you add extra elements to deal with. So yeah, I definitely can understand that. So, I mean, how do you think moving forward the LGBTIQA plus community could help support fluid and system gender folks?
It would be wonderful if they just looked up the flag, looked up our little explanation of who
Mm,
we are, and welcomed us in. We're not different from them in the fact that we have um, our sexuality. It's
mhm.
just that there are more than one personality here, and they have different sexualities, and this flag just embraces us all.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. And I think education for everybody is really important. But yeah, especially within the LGBTIQA plus community, I think as a community that itself has experienced so much stigma along the way that, kind of embracing, these system fluid and system gender folks is super important.
Yeah, I really believe so. And it's very hard for us to navigate the world. And especially when it comes to our sexuality, it's really
Mm,
confusing to work at all that, especially if you've got a large system, it gets
sure.
ultra messy and trying to understand who's who in there. So then to find that you didn't think you had a space, and then when you find a space, the first time you'd say to someone,
Mm,
oh, hey, look, they just shoot you down in flames, they shoot your diagnosis down in
mm,
flames, they shoot your genders down in flames. So it'd be really great if people would just pop online and
mm.
take a look at it.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. And I hope that we can put some resources together after this to kind of send out to people and spread that awareness and understanding. Because, a sense of belonging and a sense of identity which fits within a community is such a powerful and important thing.
Yeah. And I will definitely do that. And it's really interesting when I've found this flag and looked deeper, lots of different systems have their own flag. There's
Mm,
descriptive flags for lots of systems. So if there's any people out there that have DID and have systems, I really encourage you to dive right in there, just pop it into Google and go have a look. And you'll probably find that apart from the umbrella flag, there's a flag that's just for you guys. So I
mm.
really encourage people to go and have a look and have a little wade through and see what they find.
Yeah,
There's
look,
a
that's
place for.
yeah, and I think, I'm so, grateful for, your sharing of this information, but also so happy for you and your system that you have found, that sense of belonging and that place. And especially with the identity of the flag, like having the visual representation that you are a part of a community, I think is so powerful. So yeah, thank you definitely for sharing that with us.
I've just been delighted. I'm actually quite emotional now because it's a big deal for me. So
Mm,
and I'm hoping that it's going to be a big deal for other people and just open their eyes to having a look. And
mm.
please gift us the same acceptance that we gift you freely.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's a beautiful message. And look, Shazi, it's been absolutely amazing to talk to you. And thank you so much for taking your time. And I'm sure that this will be beneficial for other people
You
living
did.
with DID.
I certainly hope so. Sorry, few tears there. It's been an emotional day.
Yeah,
I
that's
really
fine.
hope so. I really hope that people can actually say, yes, we do have a space, and I have a little space within that space, but there's that umbrella there for us within the rainbow community that we deserve.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody deserves that sense of belonging and that sense of community, 100%. And yeah, look, just before we head off, is there a specific message or, something specific that you would like to say to people, living with DID and living with this system fluidity, just to send out to them if they're here and listening?
Yeah, I'm just like people that are living with DID to have a look at this a little more deeply. I hope that they can find acceptance of themselves. I hope they can find acceptance within the rainbow community, and I hope that they start finding that acceptance in the wider community, because we're like everyone else. We just grew up with a different way our brain was formed. So that's the only difference. We're just as smart, we're just as diverse, we're just as different. And I just want people to embrace each other, really.
Oh, and that's an absolutely beautiful message, and I think something the world could benefit from a little bit more. So look, thank you again, Shazi, for your time. And
My absolute pleasure.
Yeah, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Georgie. Bye.